Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to talk about a chart where we may have a signal. You're saying there's a chance of an impending altcoin season. This could be very bullish for alts. You're going to want to see this and a whole bunch more we're going to check out in the charts and the news. But before we do that, check out the like button. Check it out and click it, because that's going to help get this channel out to more people and, of course, help support the channel. And I appreciate all the wonderful comments that you take the time to write. I take the time to read it and respond. I appreciate that. And if those of you had questions in the comment section, I do get back to those as soon as I am able to. However, if you'd like more immediate response and interaction and engagement, you can find me in the Tribal Trades Discord. One Discord to rule them all. And of course, as you've been a watcher of the channel, you'll know that the Discord signups closed on the 7th of February. And those who had an invitation, I did extend it through until yesterday to make sure you took up that invitation, or those spots would start to go to people in the wait list. So from February the 8th onwards, now there has been a wait list. And some of those invitations that have not been taken up, I'm going to start emailing some of those on the wait list in order that you emailed me, and you'll start getting your invitations today. Now, some of you have paid for the Discord but don't have access yet. Don't worry, your spot is safe and secure. I'll work with you to get you onboarded with any technical difficulties that you may have there, okay? Now, of course, I'm also in the Stocks with Josh Discord, providing education and insights. I've got my own Crown Traders channel there, sharing resources, some of my trade setups, and of course, entertainment, because this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? And so I'd love to find you there. Now, all the information for the Discords is below in the description of this video. Just click on the More button, and you'll see the Stocks with Josh Discord signups there. There are a couple of links there. Just below that is an email. If you'd like to join the wait list for the Tribal Trades Discord, you can do so by emailing me there, and you'll go straight on the wait list. And we have our very first live training session. We did it via Zoom. It was pretty cool. It allowed people to personally ask me questions and interact via the Zoom. And then those who preferred to chat were able to type chat questions for me to answer. We did a live Q&A. It was a lot of fun. And for those of you who missed it and are in the Discord, it's now available there, and you can watch a replay of that. Okay, so let's jump into the news and the charts now. And as you can see, this is the chart. Does this chart signal a turnaround for altcoins? And it is the Bitcoin dominance chart. There is some bearish divergence on the weekly time frame, some clear bearish divergence there. We can actually see on the Bitcoin dominance chart on the weekly time frame, there it is. We have a higher high in the dominance chart, but in the relative strength index, we have a lower high. Now, these can take time to play out. They can play out straight away, or there can be time that it can take. So I'm not going to say it's going to happen right away, but interesting enough, I think this is a bearish wick. It's a pin bar candle. So that's good news. And if we actually slip to the daily time frame, we can see we're starting to break below the first one. We've knocked off the 9 EMA on the daily. So we really want to start to knock these off. The 20 EMA is next, the Tribal Trades trends lines, one trend line to rule them all. And then we have the 50 EMA and so on down. We want to try and knock all of these off. One of the things I'll really be looking for is the 20 EMA crossing below the 50. Obviously, on the weekly is the one that I really want to look for, but that could be quite lagging. By that time, Bitcoin dominance could have really dropped. So I look on the daily, and then I look on the 4-hour time frame, and it's like, okay, we're starting to see the first one go. So the 20 EMA crossing below, about to cross below the 50 EMA on the 4 hour, on the 2 hour, it probably has. So we're starting to see the first signs of weakness in Bitcoin dominance, and it's starting to break down. Now, as long as there's not some crazy reversal to the upside, keep an eye on the 20 EMA and the 50 EMA, and of course on all the time frames, but particularly on the lower. So the 4 hour is the one we want to see knocked off next. That's all that's happening right now or about to happen. On the daily, we are a little ways away, so it's a big one that we want to see. And obviously the weekly, probably we would have already seen a big breakdown by that time. But of course, we've lost on the daily time frame. Then we want to watch these get knocked off one by one. The big one down the bottom is a 200 EMA on the daily. We lose that, retest, and down we go. And we're going to see some altcoins have a nice run. And of course, as we see here, the CPI has marked the last 6 bottoms of Bitcoin. And so we did see a bit of a dump yesterday. As I had said in the Discord, I said, I'm not trading until I see how the market responds to the CPI news. And of course, we had to see the CPI numbers come out. But for sure, Bitcoin dominance is touching a trend line that has been in place for almost 8 years. Each touch has led to an altcoin season, okay? So very interesting there. So let's come across the Bitcoin. And look, I did share one of the questions, I believe it was in the Discord, the live Q&A yesterday was about altcoin season. And look, I used the word altcoin season, and some people think, oh, some magical time where altcoins are going to, retire me for the rest of my life. But I think in reality, what we saw let me just take you back to 2021. What we saw was a real parabolic kind of move in that January, February, March to April 2021. A lot of big gains, but there was a massive crash in 2021 of April when most altcoins didn't recover. Bitcoin went from 65 to 28. Most altcoins never came back. The ones that did come back, they pumped from July, August into September, and then there was another not as big a dump, and some altcoins, they found their top then and never recovered. So most altcoins found their top in April, never recovered. Some in September never recovered. And then we saw October, November. They were all periods of significant upside for both Bitcoin. See, Bitcoin price can be going up or sideways, and altcoin and Bitcoin dominance can be coming down, and altcoins can surge. Okay, don't think that Bitcoin has to dump for altcoins to run, okay? So that's how it all worked out, and it's being positioned in the right altcoins at the right time, recognizing those key buy moments, and then being able to sell into those pumps and then regroup for the next one. And as you saw, now I'm not sure if it's going to play out exactly, and we're going to pump into April and then dump there, and then have some more upside July, August, and so on. But you can kind of see altcoin seasons. There were seasonal periods where altcoins had moves of time. There's not just one magical altcoin season. And I think with the amount of liquidity, there's just too many altcoins that are out there, and just not the liquidity to support everything pumping. So I just don't think we're going to have the same kind of alt seasons we'll have in the past. I think there will be some altcoins that will run and some won't. Some are just dead now and they'll never recover, by the way. And so you don't want to be buying a dip that just keeps dipping on an altcoin that is on its way down into a bear market like we saw in April 2021. All right, so that's the kind of narrative there. Now let's quickly look at Bitcoin price here and see what that's up to. Now we've kind of talked about the altcoin market. So what am I expecting? One of the questions that I've been asked about Bitcoin, do I still think there's going to be a new all-time high for Bitcoin in February? Now look, my answer to this is the further we go along and we stay in this range here, the less likely it becomes. So I would say my percentage, and one of the things that I said, I probably got a little bit overly bullish, to be honest, and I can be first to admit that, is that in January, I said we're going to see a new all-time high for Bitcoin before the end of February. But of course, it came in January. So I was like, okay, that prediction already came to pass. Now I'm going to say we're going to make another new all-time high coming up by the end of February. I even said Bitcoin 120K. I feel the likelihood of Bitcoin hitting 120K now there's a stronger chance that it won't hit 120K by the end of February unless we get something major catalyst to kind of propel it there, like the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve or something along those lines. As far as a new Bitcoin all-time high in February comes, I still think there is an opportunity. We have seen Bitcoin have some big rallies. We have a couple of weeks left for that to happen. So I am still going to stick with that. This year, if we can see Bitcoin break above these levels here, the 50-day moving average and the 20 and the 50. But the problem we have here is we've got the 20 starting to look to go below the 50, which is actually quite a bearish move anytime the 20 goes below the 50, particularly on the weekly. Geez, on the weekly, we'll be in trouble. And the fact that it's also below the 100-day moving average and it's had consecutive closes under the 100-day simple moving average. Also, we have been banging away on this middle of the range 95K level. And so we've had a few touches, 1, 2, 3, 4. And usually I see these lines of support start to weaken. That gets weakened every time because there's less buyers who are buying the dip and less new buyers step in. And of course, that can happen and there could be some kind of narrative. But if we keep retesting this 95K level, this middle of the range between 90 and 100, we could really break down to this 92,000 level. There's a double Fibonacci level there. You can learn how to set up Fibonacci's and learn about Fibonacci stacking and double Fibonacci's and triple Fibonacci training video, which is in the education tab of my cheat sheet. And of course, you know, the chances of possibly revisiting the lower part of this range here. But I go level to level, so I want to see what happens. Look, if we break back above the 100-day and then can push through here, that's going to be quite bullish. So they're all starting to converge together, and there's going to be some kind of move to the downside or some pop up to the upside. I think in the short term, the more likelihood is to come down to this 92K level. Let's look at the liquidation heat maps, the yellow, AKA the yellow brick road. We're going to follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. And as you can see here, 97 and 95. So we're just trading in the top part of them from 95 to 100K. You know, they're just liquidating the longs on the way down, liquidating the shorts on the way up. Small moves there. 12-hour doesn't really always show me. I kind of like the 40-hour. Man, there is a lot of, you just look at it. There's the liquidity. This is what I was talking about for many days now, to come down and liquidate that down at the 96 level. I said the 96 level. Now we've got more liquidity below at 95 and at 93. If I'm the market maker, I probably look to come down and grab that liquidity before coming back up. Of course, this level's just here. We could see a little bit of fake out, come up and take that 97K level. That will push people to go long more. And then these yellow lines will get thicker and bigger with more money, and then the market makers can come down and liquidate those. That's a possibility as well. I do have a video on this as well in my education tab called the Bitcoin Cheat Code. If you're watching my video for the first time, you can learn how this all works. But look at this baby. I do like the 48-hour time frame. 98,000. We do have these levels down here, down at that 90, 94, 93 level here. So watch for that. We are seeing this slowly snake down here and pick up all this liquidity. And this will just continue to build because all the bears will be going short and get bigger and bigger. So a little bit of a move to the downside. Again, if I'm the market maker, I might do a little bit of a fake out up, then come down, then go up. And of course, you can see on the 3-day time frame that there's a lot more liquidity to the upside. Let's quickly jump to the week time frame there, and we can see again a lot more liquidity to the upside around that 100K level. Again, we could come down that 93 level there. We're going to go out to the month time frame, and then we'll pause it there. And again, you can see there is a huge amount of money that can be made here on the monthly time frame. I'm not going to be surprised if we get up to that $110,000 level and set a new all-time high and bring some liquidations there. So I do think that for the altcoins, I think there is a move coming. Will it be this month? That bearish divergence playing out with Bitcoin dominance? Will it be in March that we begin to see that and we see things take off a little bit later and we just have that March, April to May pump, sell in May and go away? I am still going to be medium-term bearish for the May, June period. That summertime usually tends to be a little bit of a sell in May and go away. So we are running out of time for altcoins and Bitcoin to have big moves up before those generally seasonal bearish periods come into play, and then I'll be bullish again for July and August, and then I think the top is coming in September, maybe at the latest October. I have some great data to share in an upcoming show on that. But of course, until the next episode, or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.